Alright, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, double honor to the Apostle GMS. My name is Al Allah. With me I have
Mario.
And we on our way to camp, and we just was talking, so we're just gonna go into the scriptures and just talk at the same time. But yeah, like we were saying, GMS is really the only teaching camp. You know, in other camps they just, they got a Bible, they got a microphone, rah, 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 and that's really that. There's nothing deep that comes out of their mouth. No knowledge, nothing.
It's just a rant. It's just a ongoing rant.
Yeah, just an ongoing rant. It's like they really come out on Saturday just for the sole purpose of venting their frustrations and then just going back in the house.
Yeah, the weekday frustration.
Exactly. This is Psalms 37:7. Mark the perfect man and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace.
Yeah, when I first came into the faith, one thing I noticed with the apostles of Great Millstones and other camp, that the elders, they was constantly going into prophecy. Like they were going to the book of Daniel, the end of the world, end time prophecy, the mark of the beast, going to the chip. It was ongoing. You know, it was constantly breaking down prophecy, and it was breaking down, real life situation and bringing it out the scriptures. Whereas with the other camps, they'll touch on Deuteronomy 28 chapter, and that the Lord is a so-called Negro, but that's how far you can get with them.
Yeah, that's far as you get with them guys, because
the guys like one-dimensional.
Yeah, they one-dimensional prophets. You know, that's them guys. Cause like these guys, they just come out. They got a Bible in their hand. Like the brother said, they'll touch on Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Go to Job 9:24. Go to Revelation chapter 1. You know, Jeremiah 14:2. Revelation 13:10. You know, them basic scriptures. Those are like entry level scriptures. Which is not wrong with those scriptures. It is that you hear the same thing come from them over and over and over again. And it's not because they're really trying to drill it in your head because they don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
That's just really because. I got something that says 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 15. And from a child that is known, I'm starting from verse 13. It's 2 Timothy 3 and 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue down the things which thou hast learned, and has been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So scripture says, evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. Now guys like GOCC, guys like the ICG, JC, all these goddamn acronyms. What's Gain in them niggas' name? ISUPK, and what's Nate in them called? IUIC, the IUIC, and all these other cats out there. These are the acronym groups. These are the alphabet groups. They all deceiving and being deceived, man. They waxing worse and worse. More and more doctrines come out. That's it's a load of crap. Solomon had the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is sleeping with white women. The mark of the beast is an embargo. Mermaids and all these other adding other nations to the 12 tribes chart.
But you notice that the different groups that have the different breakdown of what's the mark of the beast is can't break down what's the beast. Yeah. You know, that's one thing they have in common. Yeah. They all can't break down what's the beast. Exactly. That's why they don't know, they don't know what the mark of the beast is, because they don't know what's the beast. It's like if you don't know the let's say like Daniel the 7th chapter, you're not gonna know other chapters in Revelations. Yeah. Because it's the same thing being repeated, but it's worded differently.
That's true. Exactly, brother. It's the same thing being repeated, it's just worded differently. So if you don't know who the beast is, then you're not gonna know what the mark of the beast is. How you gonna know what the mark of the beast is, but you know the beast is giving the mark?
Exactly.
It makes no sense. So it says deceiving and being deceived. So they're deceiving others, and they themselves are being deceived. They're deceiving others, believing that those men are actual prophets, actual men of the Lord, and then they are deceiving themselves, actually believing that they're prophets and actually believing that they're men of the Lord. It says, but continue down the things that thou hast learned. Right, so we're continuing the things which we have learned, the things that our elders and our apostles have taught us, going back like a decade, about 10 years ago. Everything that they taught us, we continue those things that we've learned. And anything that they didn't teach us, that the Spirit revealed to us, we continue in those things as well. Because this truth is about growth. We're not gonna come into this truth and be on, you know, a Mr. Rogers level, a romper room level,
Yeah, on one level.
a one-dimensional Israelite.
Like you on the same level you was on 6 months to a year when you first came in.
Exactly. Ain't supposed to be like that. How you gonna come into this camp? You came into camp 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, you're on the same level you was when you came in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, the Bible or the word is living waters.
Yeah,
You know, it's constantly moving, constantly, you know, they keep going.
exactly.
It's not still water.
Exactly. This truth is not a still water, man. Okay? But
I got scripture 2 Timothy 2:15. You was
Alright.
mentioning how you got more on that?
yeah, it's a little more.
All right.
It says, but continue down the things thou hast learned and has been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And has been assured, we've been assured of these things. Because scripture tell you, let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So we're assured in these things. And it says, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. We learned it from our apostles, we learned it from our elders. And these men have been diligent, and they've been out there teaching for decades. They out there making videos, going week in, week out. These men have been in this truth for decades, and they're still going harder than anybody else out there through the Spirit of the Lord.
Still on fire.
Still on fire. So we know that these men got to be the men. Because if they ain't the men, then who the hell are the men? And guess what? If we ain't the men, who the hell are the men?
Yeah.
Because we doing what the scriptures say do. We are prophets. We're not saying that in boldness. We're saying that in faith. Because we doing what the prophets did. Because if you don't think you're a prophet, then what the hell are you out there teaching for? You just sitting there, damn, I don't know if I'm a prophet, man. What do I do? Maybe I'll just hold post all day. Well, if you're in the spirit of holding post all day, then you ain't in the right spirit. Alright? It says, you're supposed to be apt to teach, man. And that from a child that has known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Yahweh Shah. So the Scriptures make you wise through salvation. Now, a lot of these guys ain't going to see salvation because they ain't wise in the Scriptures. For example, the wisdom of the Scriptures that you got to have faith in Yahweh Shah. These guys don't even understand that concept. So you got Nate and them keep talking about the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. Mind you, got guys in this camp that got lineups. Guys in this camp that shave their beard off. They got, you know. And it says, all Scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High. And is profitable for doctrine. Profit means gain. Profitable for doctrine. So it's different doctrines in the Scriptures. You know. It's different doctrines in these Scriptures. The mark of the beast. World War III. America being Babylon the Great. Who the Israelites are. The nations going into slavery. There's a lot of things that's in this, a lot of doctrine in the Scripture. The law, faith, and it says for reproof, for correction, and for instruction in righteousness. And these guys can't give you reproof, correction, or instruction in righteousness because they don't know the Scriptures. They're on the baby level. These guys are on the baby level. People come into this truth and think that, you know, you come out the camp, you know, your eyebrows is real low like this, like, I'm mad. And then you just start cursing people, I'll kill you, devils, I'll kill you all,
They think just being in the truth is just like being mad, you know.
Yeah. Now,
being disgruntled.
Exactly. Don't get it twisted. We are mad and disgruntled in society, but they think that that's what it's about. Like,
that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Like you know, like, oh man, like this brother come to camp smiling, man. Fuck wrong with this dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he happy to see brothers.
It's a balance to it.
Exactly, it's a balance. Didn't I think Paul said not to be a base and not to abound? He said not to be a base and not to abound. Meaning I know how to have little and I know how to have a lot. It's not written in the book of Proverbs, Lord, don't give me too much, lest I despise thee, and don't give me too little, lest I hate thee. Something along them lines. But give me that which is sufficient for thee. So the Most High is gonna give you what you need.
That's right.
You ain't gonna be in the camp out there teaching you. You ain't on no level, man. I'm saying it's so many things in the Scriptures that can be taught. That need to be taught that people got to hear about. And it's your job to search the Scriptures. For in them you think you have eternal life. It's your job to search them. Now he said, what you want to know? Oh, one more verse. Yeah. That the man of righteousness may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Thoroughly furnished. You know when you got a floor that's furnished or some furniture that's furnished and it shines, it's in a good condition. You gotta be thoroughly furnished in all good works, man. You gotta be well rounded. Now, that's why I said doctrine, reproof, correction, so on and so forth. Now you want to 2 Timothy 2:15, right?
Yeah.
2 Timothy.
Because we was talking about how you got these other camps. You know, they just like they spend most of their time just ranting.
Yeah.
Talking about how the white man's the devil.
Which
we
you
already know
which
that.
You already know that.
You know, how we went to slavery. But they think that's it's all about. But so when guys come or a person comes up, you know, with a question, whether that person is sincere or not sincere, the first thing they do is go on a rant.
Yeah.
You know, like, you simple brother.
Yeah.
That's a stupid question.
And the reason, And the reason why they do that because they don't got no faith that they can answer the question being asked.
That's right.
So to avoid answering the question, they just rant. They just curse them out.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to go to 2 Timothy.
2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High.
Right. See, it says study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. So the way you show yourself approved unto the Most High and His Son Yahushua is by what? Studying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. See, now she says unto the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing this for the Most High. For Yahweh Shemel Shah. Not for men. So it says study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. Rightly dividing the word.
Yeah, right there. A workman that needeth not to be ashamed. Because when you studying, we also put it in work. Because you got to dig and research, you know, to get the answer. The scripture said, righteous study for the answer.
I was going to get that too. Proverbs 15:20, I believe.
Yeah. So you got to study. So you also working. That's what the scripture saying in Matthew the 13th chapter. It said the kingdom of heaven is like hid treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Now for you to find hid treasure, you got to do what? You got to dig.
Yeah.
And you got to sweat. You got to work. And then you get rewarded with that treasure. So we get rewarded with more understanding by searching and studying.
Yeah.
So it said a workman that needeth not to be ashamed. Now they being put to shame because they don't have the answer.
Yeah.
So them not having the answer, they go on a rant to segue themselves answering the question.
Yeah.
That's a workman being put to shame.
Yeah. Rightly dividing the word of truth. So it says a workman need not to be ashamed. Rightly divide the word of truth. You gotta rightly divide the word of truth, man. You gotta go precept upon precept. You gotta rightly divide it, rightly link the scriptures up. And these guys don't know how to link the scriptures up. You know? They don't know how to link up scripture. That's why I said in the beginning of this video, I believe I said it. GMS is the only teaching camp. We really the only camp. GMS is the only camp really where you got guys except for the main individuals, the elders and apostles that put up shows.
Mm-hmm.
This is really the only camp that I can think of. The other guys in Nate's camp don't be flooding the internet with videos. You don't be doing that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shows a week. You don't be seeing them cats. You don't even know that.
And these guys, man, they got routine scriptures.
Yeah, routine scriptures.
You know, they got a routine of scripture they're going to go over. Because they don't go by the Spirit.
They don't go by the Spirit.
The Spirit is as the wind.
Yeah.
You know? And the Spirit, the wind ain't blowing on them.
Yeah, hell no.
It's not, they're not being moved. That's where you get the word, what you call, influence. You got the word in, and you got flow, it means to flow. Because when a person being moved, they flowing with the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So we get influenced by the Spirit.
That's right.
They not being influenced. That's why when they go out there and they teach, they got their routine scriptures.
Yeah.
They go into the color scriptures, which is a routine, which is nothing wrong with it. Salvation scripture, but that's all they go into.
Yeah.
You know, the truth is a lot more broader than what they go into.
Exactly. Way more broader than that. Because you can't go to these guys and ask them who the 4 beasts talking about in Daniel and these other camps and expect them to know it. You know, and if any brother in GMS know that, then that's a young brother that just came in. If you've been in this thing for years, you should already know that. You know? GMS is the only group that actually really searches the scriptures through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah. The other groups don't do that. So it says, that was it on that. I gotta look at Proverbs 15:28. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 28. It says, the heart of the righteous studieth to answer. Yeah. The heart of the righteous, the heart meaning, come from Hebrew, lab meaning mind. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer. So the righteous is going to study to answer.
That's right.
You know, you're gonna study the 12 tribes. All right, these are the 12 tribes: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Simeon, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Zebulun, Issachar. Okay, these are the 12 tribes. This tribe is this tribe. Now let me break down who each of these tribes are. You got to study that to answer that. Somebody might come up and ask you a question. Oh, well, I'm from the tribe of Asher. Can you prove that to me? How do you know that? Then you got to go into the scriptures. You know? Or I'm from the tribe of Issachar. Can you prove that? Because that's what it says in the sign here. Them guys don't know how to do that. You know?
Just accept it, brother.
Just accept it, brother. What the hell you mean just accept it? You got to teach them.
You got to teach them.
Scripture tell you, convince the gainsayer. You know? The heart of the righteous study to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. Right? The mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things because they're just speaking a bunch of crap. Speaking a bunch of evil, a bunch of wickedness, man. You know? They're out there telling you Joseph and Mary didn't have sex. That's bogus, man. Oh, Joseph and Mary ain't have sex. What you out of your cotton picking mind, nigga? You know? But that's what they do. That's what they do. The heart of the righteous study the answer, and they ain't righteous, so they ain't studying the answer. That's why whenever somebody comes up to them with a question, they can't answer it. But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. That was another scripture I had in my mind.
The mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. The mark of the beast is embargo.
Oh yeah.
They want a white woman. Mermaids is in the scriptures. Like, those are evil things.
Yeah, hell yeah. Damn, there was another scripture I had in my mind. Going to the same topic. See that Satan don't want me to bring the scripture out.
Scripture,
what you got?
Matthew 13 and 44.
Okay. Oh yeah, yep, yeah. Matthew chapter 13 verse 44. And
we was talking about studying.
Yeah.
And studying and researching. So yeah, go ahead.
Matthew 13 and 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in the field.
Right now, the kingdom of heaven first began with this knowledge, but it says it is as hid treasure hid
in the field.
In the field, so it's buried.
That's right.
It's it's unknown. So it's your job to research it and dig for it, to pull it out and bring it to the surface.
Exactly.
But before you do that, you got to work. You got to sweat. You got to put in time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can bring it out to the surface.
Exactly. In which when a man hath found, he hideth. For joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field.
Yeah, he selleth all that he have and buyeth that field. I mean, he sacrificed everything that mattered, or he thought that mattered to him, to have that treasure.
And that showed you how great that treasure is.
Mm-hmm.
For someone to find a treasure that's hidden in the field and sell everything it is that they have, that shows you that treasure got to be very, very valuable. Because you give everything up just to attain that treasure.
That's right.
So it says, and again the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hidden in the field, the which when the man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. So he goes and he sells all that he had just to buy that field. He sacrifices everything that he has to obtain that treasure. Or he sells all that he had so he can buy that field. Why? Because if he buys the field, he can then have all of the treasure that's buried within that field. Okay? Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant seeking goodly pearls.
Yeah, the merchant is us, and the goodly pearls is these scriptures.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it.
Yeah, there you go again. You know, he sacrificed everything he had. You know, like, cause what that's talking about, that's representing us sacrificing everything we have to obtain this faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we was in college, we left school to be in this faith.
Yeah.
Or you had certain jobs that was, contrary to the scriptures, you left that job.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever you was doing, you was in the world selling drugs or whatever.
That's right, huh?
You put that all to the side for these treasures, for this faith.
Yeah. That's basically the end on that one. After that, it just goes into the kingdom of heaven like a net. Want to get into that?
Nah.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. This truth is a treasure, man. It's a treasure.
Those, where that's at with Peter,
What's up?
Peter, he got
We have forsaken all.
yeah, we have taken off.
It is Matthew
Like
16.
pretty much, emotional. You went to your house shot like Lord, you forsaken all. What should we attain?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get for you right now. It says, Lord, we have forsaken all. Let's see, bear me one second. Alright, give me 1 second.
Let me see if I can.
Somewhere in the 16th chapter.
Yeah, you try to pull it up.
I'm gonna look it up right here, real quick.
Yeah, but so this is not new. Sacrificing, everything we have for this faith. Because that's what was done in the ancient world.
Yeah.
That's why how Shah said it. He that love his life shall lose it. And he that hate his life shall pretty much receive it. Not quoting verbatim.
19:27. I'm thinking it's 16. 19. Matthew 19 verse 27. It says, then Peter answered and said unto him.
The him is representation Yahweh Shah.
That's right. Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?
Yeah. Now for Peter to make that statement, I mean he got emotional.
Yeah.
Because he gave up the things he cared about.
Yeah.
To follow Yahweh Shah. So he had he was in an emotional state when he asked that to Yahweh Shah. Like, read that again, bro.
I can. It says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?
Yeah, what should we have therefore? So he was questioning Yahweh Shah. Like we gave him everything. Like what should we have? Go ahead. This is a response of Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah said unto him, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, he shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right. So everything Peter forsaken, he's gonna receive. I don't even say 10 folds, but more than that.
Yeah.
He's gonna receive more than what he gave up, and that also goes for us. That's in the faith.
Because you gotta remember, it was one situation. Peter's wife was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe it was Peter and Andrew. Was it Peter and Andrew who was fishing with their father? If I'm not mistaken, Peter and Andrew was fishing with their father, and then they immediately cast down their nets and followed them. I believe that was Peter and Andrew. Matter of fact, let me see your phone real quick. So I look that up. I got another scripture I want to bring out too.
Yeah.
Let me do this up real quick. Let me type in the name Andrew. That should get me closer to it. Bear me 1 second.
Yeah. So when you come into this faith, you're gonna undergo a lot of loss before you can receive. Before you can receive anything.
Yep. Let me see. Here you go here. It says this is the book of Matthew chapter 4 verse 18. It says and Yahushua walking by the sea of Galilee. I think it's right here. And Yahushua walking by the sea of Galilee saw two brethren, Simon called Peter and Andrew his brother, cast the net into the sea, for they were fishers. And he said unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And they straightway left their nets and followed him. So Peter and Andrew were brothers, and they were fishers. Mm-hmm. And when Yahushua came into them and said, come with me, follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men, meaning what? You're going to teach. And instead of you fishing for actual fish, this word is going to be like a rod that's going to draw men in.
That's right.
Men are going to be drawn to the word that I'm going to teach you, to teach them. And it says what? It says, and they straightway left their nets and followed him. Straightway meaning immediately. They immediately dropped their nets and followed Yahushua. And guess what? They gave up their fishing business, which means that made a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So they gave that up to follow Yahushua. So Peter could have been like, yo, Lord, we done forsaken everything. What we going to get? Huh? What we going to get, Lord?
Yeah. And we didn't read it. We was going to read it, but we didn't read it. But
I got back to it too.
You want to go back to it?
Yeah. Right. Matthew 19 and 28 again. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, verily meaning truly, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration or reincarnation, when the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his glory, he shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren, sisters or father or mother, or wife or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold and shall inherit everlasting life.
Yeah, so that's what it meant in Matthew 13th chapter about, he sold all that he had. And you want to go back to it because it mentioned
Okay.
that too.
I got it. You can
Yeah, we wasn't gonna read it, but Spirit had it.
Yeah.
It mentioned about the net.
Matthew 13 and
46, 47.
47. And again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea.
Now the sea symbolized people.
Mm-hmm.
So this word was cast into the to the people. Go ahead. Were Israelites.
Yep. And gathered of every kind.
Mm-hmm.
Which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away.
Yeah. Because when we go out there and teach, what happened is sometimes you bring in, the elect, but sometimes you got niggas that stop and listen. Or you got some guys, they come into the camp and just not right and getting kicked out.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what happened. If you throw a net into the waters, you're gonna get clean fish. You might get a couple of shrimps and crabs. You take the clean to the side and you cast the abominable to the back into the water.
That's right. It says which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away.
Yeah, that's why Yahweh Shah told Peter and Andrew, I'm gonna make the official of men.
Yep.
Because this knowledge is as a net that draws men through the word.
That's right. And it says, so shall it be at the end of the world, the angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. That's that thermonuclear destruction.
Yeah, that's getting ready to kick off.
That's right.
Things are kicking off right now.
Yep. I got certain notes too. We can close on this one. Because remember, Peter asked what we was going to get, right? He said, Lord, we forsaken all. What are you going to get? Yahweh Shah told him, everybody that have forsaken, these mentioned various things, everybody that have forsaken father, mother, so on and so forth, are going to sit on the throne, judging 12 tribes of Israel, right? Now, it's the scripture right here. So the thing that you give up are going to be far greater. Excuse me. The things that you forsake are going to be far greater than the things that you're going to gain. This is 2 Corinthians 4 and 17. For our light affliction, this is a light affliction, right? Which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Now let's think about this here. The scripture here mentions weight, right? An eternal weight of glory. But it mentions a light affliction. So compare an affliction being light. Compare affliction being a real light weight. Something like, say, 50 pounds. And compare that light affliction to an eternal weight of glory. A weight that's eternal. A weight that's continually increasing. A 50-pound weight can't compete on a scale with the weight that's continuously increasing over and over and over again. You understand what I'm saying? It can't compare. So it says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment. So our light affliction is for a moment, right? Working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So our light affliction is a moment, but our glory is going to be eternal. It's like, think of a scale. One scale has the sufferings, which are light, but the other one part of the scale has sufferings, which are light, and the other part of the scale has the glory that's eternal. You can't weigh the two in the balance and it'll be equal. The eternal weight of glory of what we're going to receive is going to be far greater than anything that we have to give up on this side. You know? And you got guys there that's not willing to give anything up. You know? So you got guys that fall out. They say, yo man, damn man, you know. Man, this job, man, I want to work this job on Saturday, but I gotta go out and teach on Saturdays. You know? So they eventually make an excuse. They'll stay with that job instead of coming out to teach. Yeah. You had one guy in the camp that didn't have to work Saturdays, but he deliberately chose to work Saturdays. Why? Because he was getting weak. That's what it was. He didn't want to come out no more. You know? Mm-hmm. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at things which are not seen. So we're looking at things that are not seen. See the things you see on this video right here? These are the things that's seen. These are the things that's seen. We ain't looking at these things. We're looking at things that's not seen. What's not seen in the kingdom. For the things which are seen are temporal. The things that we see now are all temporal. I mean, they're all temporary, only but for a moment. But things which are not seen are eternal. And things that are not seen, which is the kingdom of heaven, are things that are eternal. Okay? So you got any closing words?
Nah.
Alright, so with that, we're going to close. We will say, all praise to Yahweh Shah. Hope brothers learn something. Shalom.